let's get it right here where we fit in. I would love for you guys to know that you're welcomed on the platform to share your views. Just do it respectfully in the comment section. We have a lot of things to address in this particular video because there's a lot going on in Jamaica. So let's get right into it.
JCF rank and file members up in arms over unpaid overtime. Sarah Chairman Defense Specialists. Thank you for joining us. I'm Shamela Pulla and here are the details. Rank and file members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force are again up in arms due to the non-payment of overtime. They have complained that while payments have been made, it's not the full amount owed. Chairman of the Police Federation, Sergeant Arlene Bean, says since being made aware of the discrepancies, the Federation has been making representation.
To the workforce management team for them to try and fix and bring clarity to the persons who are so affected at the respective divisions. I am hoping that this will be resolved in short order.
She has again urged the members to recheck their submissions.
The divisional scheduler needs to communicate with the managers at WMS base because they need to see the timesheets and the actual hours work. And if it is that you were not paid for previous months, ask your scheduler to do a resubmission, right? Because you have worked the hours already and you must be paid.
I just have one thing to say about that. Is that why the police is dealing with the citizens of the country that way? Because y'all not paying them on time. Y'all not paying them their overtime. Y'all not giving them their full money. I'm just asking. But let's continue. Tell me what y'all think about that in the comment section. The police not getting paid. The teachers, they're supposed to get some increments. They didn't get that. Miss Favor Williams, what is going on? Well, let's continue.
The opposition People's National Party has condemned an incident involving Jamaica Constabulary Force officers and a 15-year-old boy. This after a viral video showing the teen being assaulted sparked national outrage. In a statement, the PNP says the incident is an abuse of authority. It also stressed that no law-abiding society should accept such conduct.
The violent assault of a 15-year-old child.
Not even gonna play that. I'm gonna move past that. Just remember that. Also gonna move past this because I want to focus on a specific thing. That was a terrible accident.
Neurosurgical drill. This following criticism from opposition spokesperson on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, who called the acquisition reckless and demanded Mr. Charles's resignation. On Wednesday, opposition spokesperson on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, raised concerns about a $31 million purchase of a neurosurgical drill by the Southeast Regional Health Authority, SARA. Dr. Dawes argued that the cost is double what it should be, calling the purchase careless and unnecessary.
While our hospitals crumble, this reckless spending exposes a broken system. I met with SARA's leadership, and their answers were alarming. Doctors were forced to choose between a $30 million drill or a $50 million drill. Neither a fair price. The procurement process failed them. No competitive bids, no transparency, no proof this was in Jamaica's best option. This is not just waste. It is either gross incompetence or highly technical corruption.
It's why he argues that the chairman of SARA, Wentworth Charles, should resign.
No, ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to tell me in the comment section if you agree with Mr. Dawes that this man needs to resign after purchasing a neuro drill that could have been like $5 or $8 million for $31 million.
Meanwhile, SARA's chairman silences critics instead of fixing the crisis. Operating theatres are shuttered, ICU beds vanish, surgeries proceed at KPH despite mold risks. This is a betrayal of patients and staff. The chairman's culture of cover-ups must end. I call for Wentworth Charles' immediate resignation. Jamaica deserves leaders who prioritize health, not squander funds while our system collapses. Is this how they choose Jamaica? We will keep fighting for transparency.
In response, Mr. Charles explained that concerns about the drill were addressed in a meeting with Dr. Dawes on Wednesday. He said Dr. Dawes was shown all the relevant documents relating to the approval of the purchase and the confirmation from the Public Procurement Commission. Mr. Charles further explained that the drill was sourced from a reputable supplier, met international safety standards, and that a competitive bidding process was followed.
Right.
3 suppliers submitted proposals ranging from $12 million to over $50 million, covering the equipment and a 2-year maintenance service contract. Mr. Charles also highlighted that the drill, which is the first of its kind in Jamaica and the Caribbean, is critical for brain and spinal surgeries for children. He says the new equipment will significantly improve the capabilities of the Bustamante Hospital for Children, allowing the medical team to provide urgent care without waiting for overseas missions.
No, that sounds very good and everything, but it's the cost of the drill that's the issue. Did you have to get a drill at that cost? You're telling me you couldn't get a better competitive price? And when you see a man like Mr. Alfred Dawes calling for someone's resignation, trust me, he doesn't just go out the way without evidence. So he has seen the information, he understands what's happening.
What the new Cornwall will look like. It hopefully will restore some hope for those who felt hopeless in terms of will there ever be a day when we see the new Cornwall or the main building, because Cornwall as a hospital has been functioning and seeing patients, but that main building which had to be stripped down because of air quality and other issues. So it's symbolic and it's tangible.
Sections of the Taipei facility were closed in 2018 due to air quality issues and have since undergone major renovations to improve conditions.
See floor by floor opening up into patient wards with the expected completion of a full resumption on the main building for first quarter of the new year. So it's not very long from now, considering how long we have waited. The team is in full throttle. Work is taking place on a daily basis while services are being provided. And it's really an exciting time for me personally, and I can only imagine for the team on the ground who have had to really make the sacrifice to exist and coexist in an active construction site setting.
He just said a whole bunch of nothing a while ago, Coexist and exist in an active setting. Exciting time. Man.
Residents in Frankfield, Clarendon are demanding the replacement of 2 bridges in the area. This after recent rainfall left them marooned. More in this report.
It has been almost 8 years since the bridges in the communities of Southwood and Damed were washed away in a flood. This has resulted in residents and motorists having to journey through the Rio Minho in order to get in and out of their communities, a trek that has raised safety concerns.
But hold on, you know, the same place that where the legend almost lose him life with them kids them because I'm gonna swing from Patwood. Mighty God.
Just a few years ago, a woman and child were swept away while attempting to cross the river. The crisis is exacerbated when it rains, but even dry weather poses a threat.
We already saw that the river come down. And when the river take in, if they have to stay in, if they out, they have to stay out. It will be very difficult to it. Very difficult. We even have a church over there when the rain fall and the river get every church can't keep because the pastor can't come to church. And most of the members them there on the other side. It's rough. You look at hustling when we do, out on the main, and when the rain gets in, we can't go work.
Last week Saturday, we did the road and the river come down and we forget about after 11 before we cross it. And it still did heavy in the time. So the bridge is upward.
We put the issue to the National Works Agency, who told our news center that the Southwood Bridge will be replaced under the Accelerated Rural Bridge Development Program. This is a $100 million initiative between the government and the UK Export Finance, in which 55 bridges across the island will be repaired. Works Minister Robert Morgan is expected to provide an update on the program in Parliament next week. As for the bridge in Damed, the NWA advised that it's currently not on the list of structures to be replaced under the program. Carrie Simpson, TVJ News.
Ryan Campbell, salute to you, man. Now, that is such an that's crazy, you know. That whole situation is crazy. I don't think, I'm not going into that. No, I'm gonna share my screen. That's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna go into these important notices and things that needs to be addressed where our wonderful country is concerned. So follow me, ladies and gentlemen, follow me. Alright, here we go. Tap that like button. Thank you, appreciate it. There you go.
But the migration have not been addressed in any way. The desire, the demand has increased from the United States, from Canada, from England, but also now from Dubai, who is coming and recruiting teachers. Many other times we're unaware until the last moment that they're leaving. And so we believe that there must be a plan for teacher retention, that we need to fight for the efforts of our teachers. And when the JTA did their own research, it showed that the teachers' greatest desire was to come back and own a home and a vehicle. And so an effort must be made to make it comfortable in the classroom and in the staff room, but also for those basic things that they desire to be achieved. But the migration have not been addressed in any way. The desire, the demand has increased from...
So you hear Mr. Damon Crawford. We have a teacher retention problem. The teachers are not staying with us here in Jamaica. They much rather go overseas and work, and who would blame them, because it's a great opportunity. You understand? But the PNP has a plan for those gentlemen and ladies. You understand? And I'm excited personally for them to take power and roll out those plans. Let's hear what Mr. Hills has to say here.
The following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
I am calling on Prime Minister Andrew Holness to intervene in the ongoing sick-out by the maintenance workers in the engineering department at the National Water Commission. The affected department is responsible for several critical functions, including the chlorination of water and the repair of water main breaks nationwide. With workers now off the job due to dissatisfaction with the outcomes of the recent public sector compensation review, I am sounding the alarm about the potential risk to public health and water safety. These workers play a vital role in ensuring that our water supply is safe and reliable. Chlorination is not optional. It is not an option. It is essential. Any disruption in this service compromises the safety of water reaching Jamaican households. I acknowledge the recent verbal comments made by the minister with responsibility for water, but insisted that the seriousness of the situation called for a more direct and a high-level response. This is not the time for platitudes. We need the Prime Minister to step in and take the matter seriously. The safety of the public water supply cannot be treated lightly. I also want to raise the concern about the fairness of the compensation review. If the government got it right for the members of Parliament, I want to repeat, if the government got it right for the members of Parliament, why couldn't they get it right for these frontline workers who are now so critical to the well-being of the Jamaican people, I ask. I am calling for urgent dialogue between the government and the affected workers. We cannot afford to have this kind of breakdown in the water sector when the NWC already is struggling to meet the needs of the public. The Prime Minister must intervene now for the safety of the Jamaican people and the integrity of our water system.
Right, so
Implement.
no, we have the people that work with the NWC on sick out. Like, everything is happening all at once. This was April 22nd, but I just knew about this. I didn't know that the NWC people, they had a sick out crap. I hope that situation is fixed, honestly, but this situation is not fixed.
As the PNP's candidate for Southwest St. Anne, I am deeply concerned about the repeated removal and destruction of my campaign materials, particularly poster boards across the constituency. These actions are not just disrespectful, they undermine the very foundation of democratic participation and fair campaigning. The most recent incident took place on the night of or before an event hosted by my opponent, a carnival in Sendake on Easter Monday. Poster boards that were legally and properly erected were deliberately taken down under suspicious circumstances. Unfortunately, this is not the first time my campaign has experienced this kind of sabotage. It's an issue that I've raised with the Member of Parliament previously, and he assured me that this is not the kind of politics he supports. Yet, it's clear that this commitment to fair play is not being upheld by everyone involved in his campaign. I find it very disheartening and frankly disgraceful that my opponent, who is an attorney at law would appear to benefit from or choose to ignore these underhanded tactics. This is not the kind of leadership that people deserve, and certainly not the kind of politics we should ever return to. My campaign continues to be rooted in integrity, respect, and a genuine desire to engage voters on the issues that matter in Southwest St. Ann. This is why I'm publicly calling for the reinstatement of the Office of the Political Ombudsman. It is an institution that once provided much-needed oversight and accountability in our political process. Its absence has created a dangerous space where political mischief can thrive without consequence. I remain committed to a clean, principled campaign, and I'm calling on every political actor, regardless of their party, to do the same. Our people deserve better. They deserve to hear from all voices without intimidation, interference, or destruction.
At PNP.
So, you see where political ombudsman is a sore point, but the Minister of Justice has decided that they will not remove that law or retract the law that they put out to remove the political ombudsman. But are we surprised? We are not surprised, ladies and gentlemen. This is the DNA of the Jamaica Labour Party that's in power right now. They are an entity of skullduggery and corruption, and they don't like to play by the rules, only their rules. Mafia style, you know? Let's continue.
The following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
This is Nikisha Burchell, the PNP's MP caretaker for South St. James. You see, once again we've heard the grand speeches, this time at the Montpelier Agricultural Show on Easter Monday, where the Minister of Agriculture Floyd Green announced that the government will spend $600 billion to revitalize the Montpelier Agricultural Research Station. Now, on paper, that sounds impressive. But so did last year's promise to plant 3,000 acres of ackee, breadfruit and mango in South St. James.
Embarrassing!
We need some milk! Agricultural Research Station. Now, on paper, that sounds impressive. But so for South St. James. You see, once again we've heard the grand speeches, this time at the Montpelier Agricultural Show on Easter Monday, where the Minister of Agriculture Floyd Green announced that the government will spend $600 billion to revitalize the Montpelier Agricultural Research Station. Now, on paper, that sounds impressive. But so did last year's promise to plant 3,000 acres of ackee, breadfruit and mango in South St. James. And based on our checks, not one of those trees have been planted. Not one.
Ain't no way, bro. Nah.
What did you say? Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Nah. Come on, man.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
What can go so? But listen, big up the government, respect. But you see me, the truth is just the truth. I have to respect it. The country now run right. The country now run right. All who believe me, Bossa Blanc say blow!
PNP's MP caretaker for South St. James. You see, once again we've heard the grand speeches, this time at the Montpelier Agricultural Show on Easter Monday, where the Minister of Agriculture Floyd Green announced that the government will spend $600 billion to revitalize the Montpelier Agricultural Research Station. Now, on paper, that sounds impressive. But so did last year's promise to plant 3,000 acres of ackee, breadfruit and mango in South St. James. And based on our checks, not one of those trees have been planted. Not one. Every year, we're used as props for press releases and pretty speeches. Tired promises, empty gestures. But let me be clear. South St. James deserves investment, not a minister's imagination. Agriculture is not just about a talking point for ministers to score points. It is the backbone of survival and opportunity in rural Jamaica. Our farmers break their backs every single day to feed the country, to sustain their communities, and to build a better future. But how can we grow when the government doesn't take our work seriously? The mood I saw at the agricultural show this year wasn't hope. When they listened to the minister, it was more a matter of frustration. People weren't moved, they were insulted, and our farmers know when they are being played for votes and they're tired of it. Let's be honest, $600 billion with no timeline, no clear plan, and no community consultation, that's not a strategy, that's a stage line. It sounded like something the minister made up to impress a crowd, but we don't need theater. We need a serious, grounded plan for our agriculture. Meanwhile, the real needs are being ignored. Where is the irrigation support? Where is the land prep assistance? Where are the farm roads? Where are the processing facilities and the access to proper markets? We still have farmers in South St. James who lost everything during Hurricane Beryl, and to this day they haven't received so much as a bag of fertilizer to help them bounce back. That's not just a failure of policy, that's a failure of leadership.
Help, we see out of the ladder. We need your divine intervention. We're tired of the labor rights.
So I'm saying to Minister Floyd Green, get realistic, sir. Leave the office, come to South St. James, talk to the farmers, because who feels it knows it. We support the restoration of the Montpelier station, yes of course, but only if it's done right, with local input, with urgency, and with real measurable benefits for our farmers. Don't come with the headlines and the hollow words. Come with action, come with respect, come with a plan that shows you truly value our farmers, because it's time we get serious about agriculture, because agriculture won't grow on promises.
The website at pnp.org.
So, Ministry of Agriculture. Political ombudsman. Water Commission sick out education plans. I will not done it. One of the most important ones this right here, so ladies and gentlemen.
Today, my heart is heavy, but my resolve is unwavering. The violent assault of a 15-year-old child by members of the Govt police is not just an isolated incident. It is a stark reminder of the urgent need for systemic change in how we protect our most vulnerable. To the family of this brave young student, we stand.
Tell about them. Something not right, my wisdom warriors. Something is not right. Tell about them.
Embarrassing.
We need some milk.
15-year-old police abused a 15-year-old young man. Jamaica.
The following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
Today, my heart is heavy, but my resolve is unwavering. The violent assault of a 15-year-old child by members of the Govt police is not just an isolated incident. It is a stark reminder of the urgent need for systemic change in how we protect our most vulnerable. To the family of this brave young student, we stand with you. To the Jamaican people outraged by this injustice, we hear you. The video of this child's suffering has shaken our nation, and it is unacceptable. Those sworn to serve and protect must never become agents of fear or harm. I join the call for Indicom to conduct an immediate, transparent investigation. Every officer involved must be held accountable. But accountability alone is not enough. The Jamaica Constabulary Force must act now to reform its culture. We need mandatory training in human rights, de-escalation, and sensitivity, especially towards our children. This moment demands more than anger, it demands action. Our security forces must reflect the values of the people they serve. Brutality cannot be met with silence. To our youth, you deserve safety, dignity, and respect.
At pnp.org.
Listen, that's one of the most important situations that happened to that 15-year-old young man. It's going down in Jamaica. That's all I know. It is going down. You hear me? But there's more. Back to healthcare. Christopher Tufton, come closer, sir. What's going on here? Oh.
I'm here at the Cornwall Regional Hospital. So I'm here at the Cornwall Regional Hospital for what was a major PR event put on by the Ministry and the Western Regional Health Authority. So they're having a ceremony right now for the opening of the administrative block, which is really the CEO's office and some support staff, procurement, accounting. And I think many people, when they saw the notice board about the opening of Cornwall Regional Hospital, they might have thought that it was for patients and all of that, but no, it's really about a section of the hospital. And the minister today was at pains to say that there's misinformation out there about what the hospital has cost. And he was at pains to say that there was not a cost overrun, but a rescoping. And there's a difference between cost overrun and scoping. But whatever it is, we know that billions of dollars have been spent or allocated, or both, and still we have no hospital. At least nowhere, no beds are in this building behind it.
Emotional damage. What the hell? Oh my God! No way!
This situation, ladies and gentlemen, with this Cornwall Regional Hospital moving from a $2 billion estimate to $21 billion plus estimate over a 9-year period, still not yet finished refurbishing, not building, refurbishing after 9 years, still not fully operational. What can go so? Somebody tell me that this is not corruption.
So, where are we with all of this? A lot of PR, a lot of talk, a lot of confusion. What we know as people in Western Jamaica is that we do not have the Cornwall Regional Hospital. We have not had it for a number of years. The minister even went as far as to say if it wasn't for COVID, the hospital would be finished. Another excuse, another reason, another story being spun. But for us as citizens of this region, our concerns are still not being met. We are still without the facilities, and everybody we know in Montego Bay, in St. James, in the western part of Jamaica, all have a story of somebody who has had to come here and stay in a chair, wheelchair, or recliner for multiple days. We all have a story, whether it's a family member, a neighbor, or a friend, and we know what the reality on the ground is. The reality is not pretty. And I mean, just last night I was out there speaking to people who have had experience just talking about healthcare and lack of access to quality healthcare, reliable healthcare. That is the concern. At this time, I still want to give credit to the doctors, the nurses, all of the support staff who have worked under extreme and unfortunate circumstances still to deliver the best that they can deliver. We have to encourage them and thank them for their service. But the reality is that they have been put under this for many years, and a lot of money, billions of dollars have been spent. Billions of dollars still being spent, and still we have no completion. So, another PR move, and we, the PNP, believe that it should be people over PR, not PR over people. And right now we're seeing a lot of PRing going on right now, but it is what it is. It's what we've become used to by this government. And right now, when the PNP comes to go, we're going to make sure that much of what we see here is fully investigated, and we'll let the chips fall where they may.
We initially started off discussing simple things.
And that's where it got to be. We gotta do an investigation, bro. This is untenable. But with all of the problems going on in Jamaica, right? This is one of the things that the Prime Minister takes the most pride in. Police force. Same police force that's, having these multiple incidents of 15-year-old old man. Do I have that video? Do I have that video ready of the old man?
Sir, how are you doing? I'm fine, sir. Fine.
How is everything in this area?
Everything, sir, I can say we are on track. For the first time in over 15 years, the division recorded a sub 70.
Really?
It's the deception for me. He knew this information before he went there to speak to this man. This is another PR moment, ladies and gentlemen. This is another PR moment. He cannot. If he took God off the cross and told me that he did not know, I would not believe the Prime Minister. This man is a pathologist. He lies without lying. Look at him, really? Yes.
Murders, yeah.
We know that you knew.
I thought you were aware.
No, look at the officer. Hey, the man is scared. Oh, I thought you were aware.
So that's fantastic. Been a remarkable achievement for the Clarendon Division. So the first time in over 15 years, sub 70. So officially for this year, we have launched what we call Mission Sub 70. So that is our tagline, and it's what the tag that we put to it is not a number, it's about saving lives. So right now we are, since start of January, we have a 49% reduction in murders.
Excellent.
So our strategies that we have employed, they are continuous. So there's a follow-through from last year into this year. Our focus is on gang reduction in terms of that, and we're also pushing strongly our proactive component of policing, which is intelligence-driven.
Excellent.
And coupled with proximity policing.
Excellent. Clarendon was usually a parish that was plagued by gangs and internecine gang warfare. We're seeing now a significant reduction in gangs, but the fear now is that the domestic disputes will start to feature. Do you have any strategy in place to treat that?
So we have the Domestic Violence Intervention Center that's in place.
Yes.
We work closely with our partner agencies. So, for example, the Ministry of Justice in terms of the restorative justice.
Yes.
Because that's a very significant component. So, talk it out, don't fight it out. And what we have done to our CSS, which is our Community Safety and Security component, or we call community policing.
Yes.
They're integral in terms of the community involvement and having that one-on-one. Also, to all of our police, since recently they went through a workshop.
Yes.
Focus specifically on domestic violence and conflict resolution skills. So,
yo, these guys know how to sell it, boy. Hey, let me tell you something. See, Prime Minister is a chess player. He hears the criticism on social media. So here's an outline of all the things that people want to hear. I'm not saying that this area is not doing well, but microcosm, while the macrocosm is very, very different. But it is what it is.
That's a part of building their soft skills to intervene and to deal more proactively with these kind of incidents.
I recall that there were several incidents in this parish having to do with disputes over land, family quarreling over land, and intimate partner violence, where spouses and other loved ones were killed because of intimate partner issues. These are critical areas that you will have to pay attention to. So the restorative justice is important. Paying attention to the various domestic abuse issues that will arise. And then there's another element which is quite related to the event that I'm going to participate in now, which is praedial larceny, which affects this parish in a significant way. Do you have any special plans?
There were special plans. So currently we have started our policing around that from the start of the year. So DSP Cardoza, he is giving charge to that. So what we have done, where the farmers watch groups were defunct, we have started to revitalize that. We have a team that is specifically geared towards praedial larceny enforcement. So, and we'll be launching in the next couple of days a 30-day operation specifically geared around praedial larceny prevention.
Listen, I'm so pleased with the work that you have done.
Thank you, sir.
Clarendon was always a parish that contributed significantly to the murder rate. We're happy to see that that is being reversed. The objective now is to make these reductions permanent and sustained, and I want to commend you and your officers for the work that you have done, and please know that you have the full support of the government.
Prime Minister.
Keep up the good work.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Yo, I'm telling you, man, this guy is good. He is good. He really is good. He really is good. Congratulations to the officers. Here we have the Prime Minister. In style, helicopter. This is how he travels, guys. Meanwhile, poverty is not all that high. Look at him. Take a look at him. See you in Mobile in a bit. We just outlined hospital issues, real hospital issues. We just outlined abuse of children, 15 years. At the same police. Not those same police, but you know what I mean. We just outlined a lack of food security. Right. Just blatant disregard of security. We just outlined political turmoil because of a lack of a political ombudsman, something that is very concerning because of the history of Jamaican politics, where a lot of people died, and that is the reason why a political ombudsman was put in place. But they decided to take it out, and now we have issues where they're taking down people's posters all around. We have water issues with E. coli in the water, ladies and gentlemen, and now it's worsening with a sick out from the NWC workers. We have teachers that's been leaving Jamaica, continuing to leave Jamaica. Why? Because they cannot find a way to, to live a decent life. Just a life that everybody would want to live. You know what I'm saying? Coupled with that, we still have problem with our roadways. Communities don't have bridges. People are marooned. We have corruption where items are allegedly being bought for significantly more money than it should be bought. Meanwhile, we don't have beds in our hospitals or other machinery that is vital. Jamaica is just going through a lot. This big accident you're seeing right here on the screen is because of the roads. A man's house. Look at this man's house. Look at it. That's his house. The accident tore away the man's side of his house. You can't imagine if a child was there. Very, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. So, this is where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. And the police are not getting paid their overtime money. Let me know what you think about all these things, what the Prime Minister is rolling around in helicopter. You know, everything is fine. Everything is just great. Remember to hit the like and share, right? What y'all think in the comment section, man?